Okay, East Hampton Union Free School District. We are up and running. We are streaming on YouTube, and the phone lines are open.
Okay, good evening. Can I have a motion to open the meeting?
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up is the public hearing.
Yeah, okay, so we, by law, have to have a public hearing regarding our use of our repair reserve. We've done this, I believe, 2 other times, and I'm going to turn it over to Sam to go over some of the projects we need to complete. So we will be accessing our repair reserve fund again.
I have a friend.
As a backstory, you'll see.
Yeah, you're here.
That's amazing. People came for your.
All right, so thanks. So we're here for our third use of money from the repair reserve. Obviously, you know, as we've frequently said, the repair reserve was set up by the voters in May 2022 to have up to $5 million in it for repairs. At the end of each year, since the fund has been set up, the board has authorized us to put excess fund balance into the reserve. We've been funded. So as of October 30th, last week, there's just over $2 million in the repair reserve. So repair is, these are the test words here. It's worn, torn, broken, inoperable, decayed, deteriorated. As long as the project meets that definition, it's considered a repair. And it's a 3-step process to access the money. And I know this is with you, but I think it's good for the public as well. The district administration has identified projects that need to happen. We hold a public hearing tonight. Board of Education holds a public hearing. You consider the projects that we have here as a request, and then the board can vote if it wishes to authorize the use of the repair reserve funds. There's an item on your agenda a little bit later in the evening for your consideration for that purpose. So the first project we're looking at is basketball backboards in all 3 of our buildings. At John Marshall, it's also inside. The backboards are cracked. They don't meet modern safety standards. We had an employee injure his hand on one of them last week. So it's time for a replacement. We've been discussing this with Kathy since she got here. So that's our first item. The next is a major overhaul of the public address system and the bell system here at the high school.
That is needed.
Yes, as you can see from that photo there. And I do want to just pay, a moment of appreciation to Chris Gregory and all the maintenance mechanics that we have here. They do a great job. They've done a great job with the system, but it is time for the system to be replaced because it's not functioning. You can see here's an example where neither the speaker nor the clock of the system function anymore. So we need to replace the system. There's a kitchen oven at the high school in the culinary arts classroom that is not working the way we need it to be working. So we would like to replace it with something new. The fitness center, we'd like to appropriate just shy of $130,000 in the fitness center for new equipment. I know Kathy has been working to identify what is outdated and dangerous and broken and operable. So that will go a long way to replacing almost all of the exercise fitness equipment in the fitness center.
Sam, just a point. I believe the present equipment was donated.
Yeah.
It was all when we
And it was
got.
already used, right?
It's also outdated and not, you know what, it's nice for people of my age to go work out on that. That is not the modern equipment that the kids, student athletes are using. We need the whole design is around putting racks in for our team, all functional, very similar to CrossFit stuff.
Yeah.
Great.
I still like the old stuff's really good.
It was donated.
I'm pretty sure I can't speak.
I'm
on
almost
that,
certain.
but yeah.
A lot of it was.
I think it's all Kendall Madison. Yeah.
And by no means,
Hampton's Gym Corp.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
the donation was wonderful, sure at the time, but it's
been a while.
It's time.
Okay.
It's like there's system.
So at the middle school, the locker room floor, you can see it's been patched many times. It's got cracks. It's uneven, so we're going to pull that up and float a new floor in the boys' locker room in the middle school. The chiller compressors on the roof, the system has only been running with half the compressors. Now it keeps the building chilled, but it's basically straining itself because it's working double of what it's supposed to. So we need to replace that. The circulator pump at John Marshall Elementary School, which you can see in that photo there, is what circulates either the hot or cold water around the building, depending on the heating season. for the cooling season. So there's two. It's designed to work with two, but one of them doesn't work. So again, the system is working twice as hard of what it's supposed to because one pump is doing the work with two. Just like we did on our first appropriation of funds, in fact, it was about a year ago this week that we came to you with our first appropriation. We have some additional trees that need trimming. Here, they're all at the high school. They're mostly the cedar trees that surround the football field. There are 121 of them. They need to be trimmed back. There's several that need to go because they're either dead or dying. And then there's some trees that are on the dirt road that leads back to the grounds department. They're leaning into the roadway and they're getting the vehicles hitting them. So we're going to trim all that back to get them back to a satisfactory condition. Then we have the sound system at the turf field. This is a great project where we're working with a consultant who's helping us, design the appropriate system, but the work itself is going to be done in-house by our own staff. And this is what I really think a great project where we're using some outside help, but we're also using the talent that we have here to effectuate that change. And then lastly is the district office doors, the ones that you come into when you go into the district office. We've had a continuing problem of getting the door to close. It gets a lot of use, and over time, it has just not reliably closed. So we're going to replace those two doors with ones that do. Oh, sorry, one of the project is lawnmowers. We have a maintenance mechanic on staff now who has a lot of expertise in repairing and fixing our lawnmowers. This one represents one that has mowed its last lawn. So we need to put it out to pasture, so to speak, and have one done. And I think that's it.
Well, Sam, adding everything up, I know we have 2 million.
Yeah.
What does everything add up to?
It's 600,000. If that number is in the resolution that you'll consider later on.
So we're doing 600,000, so that'll deplete this 2 million down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, John,
1.4.
one of the things we've been using the repair reserve, I feel effectively and efficiently throughout the district. We have moved that fund down. We've obviously replenished it, but we are bound by the constraints of what we put in, 5 million over 10 years?
So we're gonna run out of room in that cap pretty soon. So if not this May, then definitely next May. I think that we would
We'll have hit the 5 million.
ask you to go back to the voters for permission to.
This is the smallest project too. This is,
Yes.
yeah, this is,
The first time we did just shy of $1 million. The second time we did again just shy of $1 million.
I know, this is so.
This is 600,000, but we're going to run out of room. And what you can do, if you are so inclined, you can go to the voters for permission to set up a new fund with money rolled over from this fund into that fund to help just push everything along.
Okay. Also, we had a lot of catch up to do because nothing was done. Repairs kind of went to the bottom of the list in the first few years of the tax cap and all that. And we started to catch up, and then the pandemic hit, and so a lot of things that these haven't been done. They absolutely
right. And everything we've identified here between Greg Cobell and myself, we have a whole new list. That we're going to come to again at some point in the near future because there's plenty of things to do. There's funds available. We have great staff who can handle this stuff. You just need the money to make that happen. All right.
Great.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
So we have to have a motion to adjourn this public hearing.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, are we going to approve that?
It's
It's
in
an
the
agenda item.
Yeah. We have our presentation next.
Yes.
from-
Dr. Soriano?
All right, thank you. You bring up my friend, I'll tell you about in a second.
Oh,
And we have had questions over the years, as Christina knows, Sandy knows, John knows, about the OWLS program going back when we used to talk about the budget, but it is really one of the signature programs at the middle school. So I thought this is a great time for the whole board, especially if you haven't had kids in the middle school yet, to hear about OWLS. It is a fantastic hands-on program, and we have a wonderful teacher who's involved in it, who is just so enthusiastic with the students about this program. So I've invited him here Mr. Smith, you want to stand up? And our bet, we have a little bet going. He thought he was going to get 90 minutes to talk to you tonight, but we did agree on 9 minutes. So this belongs to him. And as many of you know, I collect owls, and this is his.
Took it from my desk.
But if we go over 9 minutes,
It's yours.
this becomes mine.
I'll tell you when you're 9 minutes
Stop one.
begins.
Right. And this is a hot commodity on the internet.
Fine.
If you can't find it,
Hand out.
bid on it constantly. It's really something. So we'll just leave that up there as a little reminder.
Ready? Are you gonna start
Hasn't
talking?
started yet.
Go.
I asked for 80 minutes and 80 slides. He said 8 minutes and 8 slides. So I'm down to 8 slides. Good evening. Thank you for having me here tonight. Before I begin, Sam mentioned his appreciation for Chris earlier. This is my 30th year here. I just want to express my appreciation for not only the school board, but all the supportive parents. I've had 4,000 students in 30 years. I've taught 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and 8th grade in the time I've been here. And I have the most supportive parents. I have the most enthusiastic students. My brother taught 6th grade for 32 years in California. The things that he had to deal with were just incredible. And I just wanted to take this moment. I don't know if I'll ever be up here again to tell you how much I
He's
appreciate.
not retiring.
That's already. Time is not started.
Okay, in fairness, true. Prologue.
So, good evening, and thank you for asking me to speak tonight about our middle school OWLS program, which builds on the John Marshall SEALS program. In 1997, Tony Coriali approached me and asked me if I'd like to start this local field trip program. And I can still remember John Gearing walking me down to Dreesen's on Newtown Lane. We'd go there every third period and he'd say, Tony Coriali's not asking you to do this. Even though it sounds like he's telling you to do this. And I'm so glad I listened to John when he instructed me about this. It's been an outstanding program for 26 years now. We've been doing this. John Ryan Jr. ran the 5th grade SEALS program when middle school had 5th grade at our school. And then when he moved down there, it went down there with him. We've got some slides here I want to talk about, so to give you background information. And I've chosen some students from years gone by. I've got a lot of recent students, and that's Rhea O'Neill. Some of you might remember her. She's a huge success out in Los Angeles. Maggie Pisso's going to a little school. I can't remember what the name. I think it's Yale.
And Harvard Law.
Yes, that's right. But that is at Chatfield's Hole. We have these 3 lab stations set up every year, and they evolve a little bit. We have these 2 naturalists from Group for the East End, Steve Biasetti and Anita Wright. And they also have volunteers and interns working with them. They set up these really innovative lab stations we go from station to station with. And next.
You got a little quick.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you want to see it?
Thank you. I made a deal earlier. Oh, boy, Adam's going, I'm in trouble here. 26 years of local field trips with the Group for the East End Naturalists, focusing on, and these are the words of our Steve and Anita, cultivating an interest in our natural surroundings and for students to appreciate the value in our natural resources. We go to some of the prettiest, most beautiful places out here. And this was my favorite time of year. When we first started this, we used to do these trips in February, and we've learned to do them much earlier because of the weather. So my focus, along with Steve and Anita, is to identify these ecological relationships with plants and animals that we come across, and how these plants and animals adapt to our local environment. We have these nice small group settings of about 7 to 8 kids, and we go once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Then we do a second day with the second half of the 6th grade, and that's Amari Gordon. He just moved to Delaware last year. Great young man. Thanks. So some of the places we've been to over the years, we used to go to Egypt Lane Beach right next to the Maidstone Resort Beach Club, and we had some great stations set up there. We haven't gone to the Montauk Walking Dunes in a while. That was great. We do now presently go to Two Holes of Water, Chatfield's Hole, which the water table is so dry, there's like no water there now. We go to Cedar Point Park in May, and Maidstone Park Beach, we switch off every spring. And Northwest Harbor, we've already been to study the estuary there, which is really, really grateful. And those kids there, I think, are juniors or seniors this year. And that was Halloween Day, which is why she's got a vampire costume on. So, thank you. This is back when we went to the Ocean Beach, and we used to graph the cross-sectional beaches, how the beaches change from the winter to the summer with how the oceans behave during summertime, how they get calmer. And that's Amanda Calabrese. She's out in California, big success too. You guys know Amanda. And this is just a few years ago. This was Maddie, and I think she's a junior in college now. This is at Northwest Harbor, and the kids are always shocked when Steve and Anita take a net and they do a quick sweep of Northwest Harbor, and they pull so much marine life, put in the aquarium for these kids. They're just shocked with the amount of marine life that they just want. It just doesn't seem possible, and they just really get a new appreciation for what we have here to offer. Thanks. And you might recognize somebody there, John. We've got a nurse there, Shannon, and we've got another Shannon who's a social worker. Then we've got a school teacher there, Miss Yusko. I don't know if you remember her. She teaches in Connecticut now. But these are all just terrific. That was a soil analysis, but both of those where we study wetlands and the dynamics and characteristics of our local wetlands. Great lab station. Thanks. And this is my second to last slide, kids. That was with Amagansett School. We joined Amagansett. They have 23 different schools group for the East End works with. And we joined, Amagansett School joins us, and we caught a snake one day with the Amagansett kid. That was a fun day. And this young man over to the right, Court, he is a Navy pilot right now, so helicopter pilot, and his brother's a Navy SEAL also. So I think our last slide coming up.
That's it.
There was one more slide.
No, I thought there was one more too.
But that's okay. Maybe that. Oh, you know what? I switched slides. I switched to the last slide. But I told you the takeaways, what Anita and Steve hope. But my big hope is that these kids gain a new appreciation for how beautiful where we live. And I always joke with the kids, someday you're going to go back to these places with your own kids, and you're going to remember a little bit of what we did here. And that's one of my big goals. And I can't thank you enough for supporting this program. And I'm so glad Tony took me aside and suggested I do this. Any questions from anybody?
So is this sixth graders, did you say?
Sixth grade. We call it OWLS, outside while learning science. See, I came up with it. You told me recently that they came up with it.
So you take the kids on different field trips throughout the year.
Great field
The whole
trips.
grade.
Yeah, and I take about 40 kids on one day, 40 the second day, 20 in the morning, 20 in the afternoon. And the sixth grade teachers are so flexible and so cooperative. And especially the special area teachers, pulling all these kids out of their classes. I really very much appreciate the teachers help me pull this off. Anything else?
Mr.
About
Smith,
6 minutes?
keep your owl.
Keep the owl.
7:50.
Thank you.
Mrs. Smith,
All right. Who's babysitting?
Catherine, speaking today.
She's unattended. Oh my goodness. So next Wednesday is a big day. We have our career cafe for our juniors in the morning. And we'll have over 100 different professions represented where our students or juniors have an opportunity to speak with them about their career and see what they may be interested in. And in the afternoon, our juniors are going to go to the theater. So big day for our juniors. They are going to Bay Street Theater to see The Crucible, which is Bay Street Theater always does one play a year. And it aligned perfectly this year because our 11th grade reads The Crucible. They just finished, so they will be able to see a live production of it, which will be outstanding. So we're very excited about that. We are also excited that we are initiating this year a Science National Honor Society, thanks to the hard work of Stephanie Forsberg and Renee McGuire, Paul Revito, and Aaron Jalot. The criteria for it is to have a GPA of 90 or higher in your science courses. For juniors, they have to be currently enrolled in an honors level science, and for our seniors, they have to be enrolled in an honors level science in both the 11th and 12th grade as well. So another way of celebrating academic success, and we are thrilled that we had 109 students who qualified and are in our first round. So, and again, another way of just building the excitement about science, which I'm sure started with the OWLS program. To keep that momentum going. It's like a meatball over a home plate, right? That was not set up. And speaking of academic success, we a huge shout out to our seniors and our senior parents and our guidance department. We processed over 1,000 college applications simply for round one for the November 1st deadline, which is a huge feat. So that was the first of 3 major deadlines, but a huge feat in itself. And thank you to all the parents, especially. I know that's an incredibly stressful time for families and parents, but a very important thing to do. So just quickly, our DEI committee on Friday met, and we were speaking about how to address the Israeli-Hamas war in a non-polarizing way. And Mr. Pinella, who's one of our special ed teachers, brought up that he had heard an interview on NPR of someone who's immersed in that conflict, I believe in Gaza. And in the interview, the gentleman said he's not even able to take a shower. So that made Mr. Pinella think about, all the simple things that we have in life that we take for granted right now, which prompted us to, during Thanksgiving and into the holidays with our student association and our sources of strength, we are going to, among our students and our staff, do a thankfulness gratitude challenge to try to teach our students, raise awareness and encourage student empathy. So by them thinking about the luxuries and privileges and rights and peace of mind that they may have that other people around the world might not have right now. So that is one way we are trying to address it. And then Christina sent me an excellent documentary of a Holocaust survivor, and we are absolutely in talks trying to figure out logistics of that. So thank you again for sending that. So trying to address it in the way of teaching tolerance. So yeah,
One with local ties too.
yes,
The locally
it is incredible.
Yeah.
That's Friday, I believe. I think
Saturday at LTV.
LTV.
Yep, free screening.
And I'm not able to make it, but they were generous enough to send us the link. So, so we're working most likely with our social studies department. That's where it will be pushed in, so that our students can view that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Where's Mr. Stuff going?
It's gonna relieve the babysitter. Well, I got nothing to deal with owls except, who are you? We received our last year's spring sportsmanship awards, and I'm proud to say that we received sportsmanship awards in middle school track, which is coached by Coach Trish Erickson, Bill Herzog, and Dennis Palacios. Our middle school boys lacrosse team by Coach Naglieri and Coach Corey Strain. Our varsity girls track team, Shawnee Cuesta and Nick DeLuca. Our varsity baseball team with Vinny Alberta and Henry Meyer. JV girls lacrosse with Josh Brussels and Anthony Rosa. Varsity girls lacrosse with Joe DiGeronimo and Jenna Piro. our varsity softball team with Coach Anne Marie Brown, with help from Melanie Anderson and Milan Lee. And all of our varsity teams were also New York State Scholar Athlete teams. So not only are we great sports, we're really smart kids, and half of these teams made playoffs. So those are awesome things. Our middle school sports are underway starting Monday. We have boys basketball and girls volleyball, and great turnouts in that. Our high school sports begin this Monday, the 13th, and we have some good numbers for that too. Full wrap up, we had playoff teams including golf, field hockey, boys soccer, boys volleyball, boys and girls cross country, girls swimming, and girls tennis.
And that's all finished, all the playoffs were finished?
All the playoffs were
We
finished.
were all, we're all the playoffs?
Yep, we did awesome. Heartbreaker for those of you who were here for soccer.
The shootout.
It was, before the shootout happened, I said, somebody is gonna be crying either way. This is a terrible way to win or lose. It really is. But it was a great fall season. We're looking forward to a great winter season.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
So public comments for agenda items only. Do we have any callers?
We have no callers on the line, but the line is up and the crawl is going on the broadcast.
Right, then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Then we'll move on to the superintendent's report and recommendations. So just read the recommended.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you just hold on 1 second? This, I think I'm gonna have to stop this. It's not working right. Hold on, I'm sorry, I apologize. Program's not working right. I'm gonna do it manually.
Okay.
So just let me get to,
Sure.
Luke's here.
Luke's here.
Okay, I'm all set for you guys. I apologize.
Recommended that the board approve the administrative appointment of Sarah McGuire to the position of Director of Student Services and Data. Can I have a motion?
Can you make it happen?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Want to say anything?
Well, I mean, Sarah's here, it was, I must say, it was an extensive process, so we're very lucky. We're very lucky.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm excited.
You're welcome.
Very excited. It's where my dad retired from, so this is
Yeah.
like a big thing in my family. So, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay. Recommended that the board approve the non-instructional appointment of Luke Goodstein to the position of Network and System Specialist 1. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion. Second.
And Luke's here. Congratulations.
Wait, before you go, can you fix your computer?
You know,
That's why you made him come here,
I have to tell you though, I've been having problems with this program all day, so I'm ready to
Just move your chair over there.
And just to say, on a serious note, in regards to Luke, I mean, I think this is exactly what, Tim and I had in mind when we talked about growing our own and really
Yes.
making them have the ability to move upwards. And I think this is, I don't want to say it's long overdue because George did a great job here and had to retire. And we're very happy that we didn't have to go outside to find somebody to replace George. And, I think Luke is very happy and motivated to the point where he's in my office now every day fixing something. He's fixing the refrigerator the other day, but I think it's great. It's really great.
All in favor?
Aye.
These are all Luke's replacements.
8.03.
Yep.
Recommended that the board approve the non-instructional appointment of Steve Leonis to the position of Network and Systems Technician 1. Can I have a motion?
I make it.
Second. And this would be a replacement.
This is a
for Luke.
replacement, yeah, the next two
Moving on.
are, yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Recommended that the board approve the non-instructional appointment of Juan Tescone to a provisional term appointment to Network and Systems Technician 1. I have a motion.
I make it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I? Now, these are two new people?
The two new, we are redoing, we talked about it in personnel, we are restructuring the full tech department. due to the fact that we were audited by the comptroller. So we said, let's look at this differently. We needed to take Chuck, who was our director, and move him away from kind of the day-to-day operations and really kind of refocus him onto dealing with ransomware, malware, attacks on our computer systems, our server issues, and have another layer, which is Luke is filling the first position. We want to expand that, which will Luke, and if we are able to find another colleague to work with him, we're working on that, will oversee the day-to-day operations of the schools. The Chromebooks, my internet went out, I can't talk to my printer for some reason, those type of things that happen on a daily basis. So, and now we're expanding, and we do need more, and it's really, you're taking Chuck out of the mix completely.
Good.
Yeah.
You can now vote, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve the non-instructional appointment of Christopher Gregory to the position of school crew maintenance leader. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
You here?
He's here. Just want to thank everybody.
Thank you.
We're very lucky, and as we added our maintenance 4, Chris needed to move up to the 5, the supervisory role, and I think he more than adequately supervises and does things around here. We definitely don't want to lose him.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve interscholastic coaching appointments for the 2023 to 24 school year. Resolved that the board approve the following interscholastic coaching appointments. I just said that. From dance and varsity down to softball varsity assistant. Can I have a motion?
Take a motion.
Second.
Any
It's
discussion?
normal appointment.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board accept letters of resignation for the purpose of retirement. Be it hereby resolved that the Board of Education accept letters of resignation for the purpose of retirement from the following employees: Polly Byrne from her position as a paraprofessional, effective close of business day November 8th, and Cheryl Carter from her position as a guard, effective close of business day November 24th. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Two good people, long-serving
Yeah.
members of our school community.
yeah. Cheryl and Holly.
Yep.
Great,
It recommended that the board hereby appoints Arthur Rigel, Esquire, as hearing officer with respect to disciplinary charges brought against the employee named in confidential attachment A pursuant to Civil Service Law, Section 75. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion. Second.
Okay, Personnel Center
Yep.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve the memorandum of agreement between East Hampton Union Free School District and the East Hampton Union Free School District School-Related Professionals Association regarding the position of an automotive mechanic 3. Can I have a motion?
I have a motion.
Second.
That's creating civil service layers within our transportation center. So as we have John retire, we now have to create, there is no layers, so everybody's can't move anywhere. So we're using civil service to create layers. So same amount of guys working there, but they'll be able to attain different levels now.
Okay, great.
Did we say all in favor?
aye,
Aye.
Okay. Recommended the board approve the following student trips for the 2023 to 24 school year. Resolved that the board approve the music department student trip comprising of approximately 102 students and 10 chaperones to Hofstra University and New York City to attend a Broadway musical from December 19th, 2023 through December 20th, 2023. The cost per student is estimated at $250. Fundraising will offset the entire cost of the trip. There's no cost to the district. And 2, resolved that the board approve the high school chorus student trip comprising of approximately 75 students and 6 chaperones to Queens College, Aaron Copeland School of Music and Carnegie Hall from April 4th through April 5th, 2023. The cost per student is estimated at $250. Fundraising will offset the entire cost of the trip, and there's no cost to the district. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Any discussion or?
2 great
Oh,
trips.
great trips.
Yes, Sarah vetted them, academic vetted them. So So very good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Request for proposals. Recommended that the board approve the following RFP proposals for the 2023-24 school year. Number one is, can I just read the numbers or do I have to read?
You could just read the numbers.
Okay, Medicaid and education consulting and billing services. Number two, external auditing services and fiscal reporting. Number three, Affordable Care Act administrative agreement. Number four, school medical director. Is that right?
Yep.
Can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Just standard,
Yeah.
Medicaid is to get reimbursement. We're gonna hire somebody to help us get reimbursement per student or services. That's something we've wanted to do in the past, we're able to do now. External audit, I updated you that we are changing our external auditor to Cullen and Danowski. We feel that they're gonna do a more rigorous, more detailed job for us. I don't think that hurts. We're doing well, but why not have another set of eyes on it? And I think they're a significant upgrade. Sam, you want to do Affordable Care Act?
So, we are required to track each employee's, health insurance status, who's on their insurance, whether or not they're on our insurance, who is being insured if we insure them, and provide them with a 1095-C form for tax purposes every year. It's a lot to track. There's consultants who do this. We are currently using a company that is charging us probably $20,000 to $25,000 more than what Fruit Company can charge us for provide people service. So we'll pick up the savings and make a change.
And the last thing, school medical director, we were able through the RFP process to have the Meeting House Lane medical practice respond to us and worked out a number of things, Sam's office and my office, and we have that. So Meeting House, Lara, right? It's Lara. Yes, this
Great.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Repair reserve fund expenditures. Recommended that the board approve repair reserve fund expenditures in the amount of $629,733 for district-wide projects requiring replacement and repairs. So this is
the repair reserve with Tam, with
what we just saw. Okay, so can I have a motion?
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contractual correction, Schedule D. Recommended that the board approve a contractual correction to the EHTA bargaining agreement, July 1st to June 20th, 2027. Schedule D, athletic teams, coaching levels, and stipends. So, do you want to talk about this?
Just the correction of the way it was transcribed. That's, yep, and we just corrected it with the EHTA.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contract authorization.
$66 error.
Oh, recommended that the board designates authority to the superintendent of schools to sign contracts for the third-party administration concerning the district's flexible benefits program for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Sam?
Sorry, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so flexible benefits is it's a way for employees to save and for the employer to save on payroll taxes for certain classifications of expenses that people have. The company we currently use charges more than the company we're going to migrate to come January 1st for the same service. So again, we'll pick up the savings. They are also, this new company, we like them because they are a little more flexible in how people will roll. We're trying to simplify that process. I think a lot of employees don't take advantage of the program because the enrollment forms are pretty complicated. We have simplified that down. It will allow people to save money on their taxes and allow us to save money on payroll taxes.
Great.
Good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve contractual agreements for the 2023-24 school year. Resolved that the board approve the following contractual agreements. Number one, the intermunicipal agreement between East Hampton Union Free School District and Springs Union Free School District for the purpose of providing student transportation for the period July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in said intermunicipal agreement, and authorizes the president of the Board of Education to sign the intermunicipal agreement. Number 2, the intermunicipal agreement between East Hampton Union Free School District and Wayne-Scott Common School District for the purpose of providing maintenance of buildings and grounds for the period November 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in said intermunicipal agreement, and authorizes the president of the Board of Education to sign the intermunicipal agreement. I'm going to kill JP for all the intermunicipal. 3, the intermunicipal agreement between East Hampton Union Free School District and Wayne-Scott Common School District for the purpose of providing student transportation for the period November 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in said intermunicipal agreement, and authorizes the president of the Board of Education to sign the intermunicipal agreement. Number 4, the intermunicipal agreement between East Hampton Union Free School District and Montauk Union Free School District for the purpose of providing student transportation for the period July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in said intermunicipal agreement, and authorizes the president of the Board of Education to sign the intermunicipal agreement. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay.
Quick explanation to all of them. It's us working with our sending districts. It's saving the sending districts money, and it's giving us obviously some revenue, but it's benefiting all of the districts involved. And I couldn't be more happy than with the discussions of all the districts. We're providing a service, they're getting a service cheaper.
Great. That's great. All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board hereby supports the desire of community members to raise funds for varsity baseball field improvements.
Make a motion.
Second.
That's just formalizing with Tim Garneau's group and the Booster Club of raising money. They have started and they have money. They are on their way.
Yeah.
So we just needed to put it this way.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board accept with gratitude the following donations. Number 1, resolve that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District accepts with gratitude a donation from Ms. Leah Arnold of a 2006 Chevrolet Impala for use by students in the automotive repair CTE program. Okay. Great. Number 2, resolve that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District accepts with gratitude donations from Kiwanis Club of East Hampton Foundation in the amount of $1,500, the Rotary Club of East Hampton Foundation in the amount of $1,000, and East Hampton Lions Club Foundation in the amount of $1,500 to be used for the students of East Hampton High School to participate in the World Food Prize Science Competition held at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District hereby authorizes a budgetary increase to the budget line for teaching regular school field trips in the amount of $4,000. 3, resolve that the Board of Education of the East Hampton Union Free School District hereby accepts a donation with gratitude in the amount of $300 from a donor known to the Board of Education to be used by the cafeteria program for elementary students with outstanding debt. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second? Second. Do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, it's there. We obviously have a trip. We had some donations. We had a car donated by Leah, who's from BOCES, who's been involved in the program. What? Yeah. Oh, Lisa. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think we're getting. Is this the new one or this is the?
So
this is the first one.
This car is a parts only vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
Ted is harvesting parts out of it, and we're gonna come to you in our next.
And I'll delete it.
To obsolete it.
Great.
Get everything out of it.
We do it a lot. Yeah.
Auction it off for some money.
Yeah.
But then he has another vehicle that he anticipates coming relatively soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which will also probably be for parts, but he
Okay.
turns each of these parts into a lesson.
Great. Yeah.
Great.
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Recommended that the board approve a budgetary line increase for the 2023-24 school year. Resolved that the Board of Education hereby authorizes a budgetary increase to the following budget line of the 2023-24 budget in an amount not to exceed $15,550.88 to be offset by the reserve for employee benefit accrued liability reserve pursuant to general municipal law, section 6P. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Retirement.
Okay. All in favor?
Good.
And the school budget development calendar. Recommended that the Board of Education hereby adopts the proposed 2024 to 25 school budget development calendar. Can I have a motion?
Make a motion. Second.
So same as last year, we put them, I put the meetings before the board meetings. It'll start at 6 and, we'll go through and then just start the meetings.
Okay,
So
great.
we have 3. I think we can do it in 2, but let's leave it at 3. I don't want to rush anything.
Yeah.
I want to give the board ample, opportunity to ask questions. So, no
And having it
changes.
before the other meetings is better. I mean, everything's like
Mhm.
consolidated.
Yep,
and-
yeah.
Yeah,
That's very helpful.
It's the same.
yeah, same as last year.
Same.
basically, right? Yeah. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So now old business, energy performance contract discussion.
Just a reminder, you know, I just, we got some input and both positive and negative. You know, my take is we still need to hear from more people. Please email the Board of Education. The other piece is, and this maybe is a question publicly for Sam, but you know, I think one of the things I'd like to see for the board and the community is some drawings or informal drawings of what it would look like. I don't know if that's possible because I think, you know, from the start, and maybe it was misinformation from me when I said we're going to put it on the parking lot. You just think we're going to build a dome over the parking lot. I think we can look at different options, what it would look like, a full covering everything, covering the bus loop, covering the teacher lot, or covering here, covering there, and different options so we can show like in a level of, you know, kind of color and pictures what this means to the community if the board went that way.
Would Mike Guido do that for us?
Like a render, I think he could probably do it.
Let's remember the most important thing. It has to work
Financially.
financially
Yeah.
and
Has to be
energy
enough
wise, right? So
panels.
there's a bargain for exchange here. We have to have, it has,
Right.
like, let's pretend for argument's sake, we want to get new windows, as I said, again, just a hypothetical, the middle school out of it. What's that going to cost versus how many solar panels do we need to put up in order to generate enough electricity to offset the cost of the installation of both the panels and the windows? So I think maybe what would be helpful is we could gather some drawings or photographs of existing arrays.
Mhm.
So we can kind of see what a small one looks like, what a bigger one looks like. What we would need to offset what we want is something that's going to require a great deal of engineering time to determine, but we can certainly.
I just want to make sure, I think because the negatives were all aesthetic, and
Yes.
that's obviously something very important to the community. So if those
So they're very
drawings,
tall.
yeah,
So, you know, if we did it, would we be setting them back? Not right up on the first ones?
Yeah.
I've had,
Yeah.
people ask me, can we put it in the back? Because we're gonna be paving that area back by grounds. Can we do it back there? Is there
How
enough
that
room?
interacts with the fuel tank we're putting there, you know,
Mm,
there may be some fire codes there we have
Okay.
to look at. But anything and everything is possible. We just need to, you know, keep in mind that before any final decision is made, an engineer's gonna have to say, here's what you need to generate in order to get what you want. Is this energy what you're willing to accept?
so
And it could be that you're not, and that's perfectly acceptable.
Well, I think we should get more public input, and I think we should, you know, talk about it in the next, you know, over the course of the next few meetings and see if Mike Guido can get us some photos of different samples and.
let's aim for January because December I want the board to talk about if the board wants the bond stuff. So
Right.
we'll have some more bond stuff and then we'll look in for January and a follow-up discussion, Sam. That would be great. If that time-wise, otherwise we'll go to February. I know you'll be busy, so let's
I think
see.
we need to put it together, you know, at some point, I think the board will need to make a decision. Do we want to push forward and having an engineer draw, you know, figure out the mechanics of it? Or is this something that no matter what the result is, there's no appetite to do?
Right.
And
That
then, you
makes
know,
sense.
so I think aesthetically, we can look and see what they look like, but then at some point, we need to bring in a professional to actually, and Mike will oversee that process, but he's gonna have to work with people who specialize in this line of work to see what's it gonna take to get what we want.
Well, I think more of the response actually surprisingly, to me at least,
It's
is
been-
that it's been positive.
It's positive.
Yeah, we have a few that are hard nosed, but, more that were kind of in favor
Yep.
of doing it.
Yep.
And also there was an issue with the, and Luke's here, I had two different people say that they had trouble getting into the BOE email, but I know you changed some things.
Yeah, we fixed that, yeah.
Okay, because they weren't getting the
Yep.
emails for the codes, so now it should be
Yep.
okay if they,
Yeah.
okay, so you can go in through our website.
Yep.
On the BOE thing and just click and it'll go to us. And if you can't do it that way, then you just type it manually, BOE, yeah, at ehschools.org.
Yep.
Okay. New business nowadays.
So just like we do every year, so we have 3 built-in days this year. My plan is, so the community should hear this, and the board, please jump in if you don't agree with it. First 2 days will be real snow days. You are staying home, have your hot chocolate, I'm sorry, your kids will be home with you. I apologize in advance. I will bank the 3rd day, and hopefully we can use that as a remote, if we get there, we will use that as a remote day. So you will have, no matter what, barring any unforeseen boiler issues at John Marshall, things like that, I will be using those 2 days as real, true snow days for the community and the kids. If anybody disagrees, let me know.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
important. And then if you have the 3rd one, if we go to the 3rd one and we have
go
remotes, we
remote.
don't have to take any days off of vacations as we had in the past. I think everybody will be happy to.
Yeah, we added the day last year, we'll
Compromise.
add again this year. We already have a long Memorial Day, we'll have a longer Memorial Day, so
Right.
I don't think anybody's gonna really complain.
Right. Okay, public comments. Do we have anybody on the line there?
No one is on the phone line.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, good night.